the Amazing World of Dr. Seuss Museum, in Springfield, Massachusetts, this year. Tony Luong for the New York Times. A Dr. Seuss Museum in Massachusetts has agreed to replace a mural showing a Chinese character with chopsticks, slanted eyes and a pointed hat after 3 authors said the depiction was racist and refused to attend a museum event in protest. The authors, Mo Willems, Mike Corrado and Lisa Youth, said in a letter on Thursday that they would not attend a book festival on October 14 at the Amazing World of Dr. Seuss Museum in Springfield, Massachusetts, because of the jarring racial stereotype of the character from Dr. Seuss' book, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. We find this caricature of the Chinaman deeply hurtful, and have concerns about children's exposure to it, the letter said. The authors published a copy of the letter on their social media accounts. Headless of you one, at the Pigeon, and I won't be attending the October 14 Springfield, Massachusetts, Seuss Museum event as planned. Here is why. Pic.twitter.com 03 Mivin Age, Mike Corrado at Mike Corrado October 5, 2017, Headless of you one, at the Pigeon, and I respond to the decision by Seuss Enterprises to remove the Seuss Museum mural. Pic.twitter.com Rose gives 8, Mike Corrado at Mike Corrado October 6, 2017. The book in which the character appears, published in 1937, was the first by the author Theodor Geisel, who went on to become a giant of children's literature under the name Dr. Seuss. While the image may have been considered amusing to some when it was published 80 years ago, it is obviously offensive in 2017, the authors said in their letter. The letter was addressed to the Springfield Museums, an organization that includes the Dr. Seuss Museum and 4 other museums, and Dr. Seuss Enterprises, which oversees Mr. Geisel's brand. Hours later, the 2 organizations announced that the mural would be replaced. Theodor Seuss Geisel wrote under the pen name Dr. Seuss during his lifetime, from 19,041,991. Dr. Seuss created an enormous body of work including children's books and political cartoons. Dr. Seuss was a man of his times. He was also a man who evolved with his times. Dr. Seuss' own story is a story of growth, with some early works containing hurtful stereotypes to later works like The Sneetches and Horton Hears a Who, which contain lessons of tolerance and inclusion. It is in that spirit that Dr. Seuss Enterprises and the Springfield Museums listened to the concerns voiced by the authors and fans and have made the decision to take down the Mulberry Street mural at the Amazing World of Dr. Seuss Museum and replace it with a new image that reflects the wonderful characters and messages from Dr. Seuss' later works. This is what Dr. Seuss would have wanted us to do. Dr. Seuss would have loved to be a part of this dialogue for change. In fact, Ted Geisel himself said, "It's not how you start that counts. It's what you are at the finish." After the museum's announcement, the authors followed up with a second letter saying they would attend the children's book event, but a separate announcement from the museum said the event had been cancelled, without giving a reason. Mr. Geisel was born in Springfield in 1904, and his legacy there is celebrated with activities, including a tour of Mulberry Street, a memorial interactive sculpture garden that opened in 2002, and special weeks designated to honor him. But some of the work of Mr. Geisel, who died in 1991, has come under scrutiny and criticism over the years, particularly his depictions of Asians and Africans. Last month, a school librarian in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Liz Phipps-Arrow, rejected a donation of Dr. Seuss books from Melania Trump, saying Mr. Geisel's books were racist, according to the Associated Press. The comments were political correctness at its worst, Dominic J. Sarno, the mayor of Springfield, said. A New York Times review of the Dr. Seuss Museum, which opened in June, noted that the displays there had overlooked Mr. Geisel's anti-Japanese cartoons from World War II, which he later said he regretted. Philip Nell, a children's literature scholar at Kansas State University and the author of Dr. Seuss' American Icon, said in an interview on Friday that Mr. Geisel's evolution on race was incomplete and could have been given context at the museum. In early editions of Mulberry, the Chinaman character had yellow skin and pigtails. In editions published in the 1970s, the pigmentation and pigtails were gone, and the character was referred to as a Chinese man. He still has the slanted eyes and is still running along with chopsticks, but it is toned down from the original, Professor Nell said. He was responsive to criticisms of his own work. That is a story worth telling in the museum.